Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, I wanted to just kind of expound upon Errol Spence in light of his recent victory against Sean Porter, Showtime Sean Porter. You know, I wanted to, because there's a lot of talk about what he should do with his career next. Like, should he go fight Terrence Crawford? Should he go fight Manny Pacquiao? Now there's rumblings and rumors of him potentially fighting Danny Garcia next. As it pertains to Manny Pacquiao, let me just state the main idea of this video right here, as you guys can see by the title. Errol Spence Jr., his style is tailor-made for Manny Pacquiao. Yeah, you damn right, I said it. His style is tailor-made for Manny Pacquiao. He cannot beat Manny Pacquiao, which is why they're looking at him going to fight Danny Garcia, which I'll address in another video. But Errol Spence Jr., from what I saw in this fight with Sean Porter, and just not even just this fight, but his fights in general, the way he fights in general, his style is tailor-made for Manny Pacquiao, and I'm going to explain to you why. So you guys just don't think I'm being a Pac-tard or a Pac fanboy, because sometimes when I get on here and I make these videos of Manny Pacquiao, I get accused of these things. But I'm going to talk just from a straight boxing standpoint, technical boxing, the styles, all that good stuff, okay? So, before this fight started, before this fight with Sean Porter ever happened, it was a known fact that that Errol Spence is not a one-punch knockout artist. I've stated this many times in my lives. I've stated this many times when I talk about Errol Spence. He's not a guy that gets you out of there one punch. He breaks you down, does it beautifully, but he's not a one-punch knockout artist. Okay, that's number one. So he's not a one-punch knockout artist, and while he is a good counterpuncher, he's not an elite counterpuncher. And I think to defeat Manny Pacquiao, you need to be an elite counterpuncher. You need to either be an elite counterpuncher, or you need to have one-punch knockout power, or both. Okay, I don't think Errol Spence doesn't have one-punch knockout power, and he's not an elite counterpuncher. So that's already 2 strikes against him. But the third strike, and the most damning strike of them all, is how slow-footed he is, and just how slow-footed he is, and how if you're a fighter who can give him angles, hit the angles hard, and throw punches from all kinds of different angles, you can have success against Errol Spence. Sean Porter, in my humble opinion, in the 7th round of the Errol Spence fight, gave somewhat of a blueprint how to beat Errol Spence. And if you go back and watch that round, you can see a Sean Porter that's kind of fighting like a bootleg Manny Pacquiao. You know, he's using angles, he's turning them, he's throwing punches from different angles, he's coming with an up jab, he's coming with a straight jab, he's coming with a right hand, he's coming with a left hook. He was showing all different types of angles in that fight. And what does Manny Pacquiao do at the highest levels of boxing? When Manny Pacquiao's in that ring, what does he do better than anybody else in boxing? He turns fighters, turning meaning that when he's in front of you, he changes angles, and he has you pretty much at an advantage when he throws the next punch. He's winning that battle of real estate. He's in a position to throw the next punch, while you're in the position where you got to adjust to defend him punching. And he does that as good as anybody in boxing, Manny Pacquiao. You see what I'm saying? So I saw Sean Porter not just in the 7th round, but in many rounds this fight when he had success. If you go back and look at a lot of the rounds where Sean Porter was having success, a large part of it came from him using good footwork, turning Errol Spence, giving him angles, and Manny Pacquiao does that better than anybody in boxing. So that's already those are some reasons why I think he would lose to Manny Pacquiao. When you factor in too that Manny Pacquiao, as time has gotten older, while his work rate isn't what it was 10 years ago, we have to acknowledge that here on True School Sports, that Manny Pacquiao does not throw the amount of punches he used to throw back in 2010. But at the same time, as time has gone on, as he's gotten more experience, he has learned to place his shots a lot better. And I think a fighter like Manny Pacquiao, who has as much ring experience at the World Championship level as he does, who has, I wouldn't say one-punch knockout power anymore at welterweight, but he has, I would say, better one-punch knockout power than Errol Spence Jr. You know, I think if they both got into an exchange, Manny Pacquiao's one of the exchanges. So you have like a fighter who has World Championship experience on top of World Championship experience. A fighter who, even at his advanced age of 40 years old, is one of the fastest, and you could argue in terms of lateral movement, the fastest fighter in the division. Then you're talking about him punching from all these different kinds of angles that fighters just aren't used to seeing. He's different, and Manny Pacquiao, he's a great fighter because I've always said in sports, like, when you know what an athlete is gonna do, like it doesn't matter if we're talking about basketball, soccer, baseball, anything, boxing. When you know what someone's gonna do on the court or on the field or in the ring, When you know what they're gonna do and you still can't stop it, that's when you know they're a great fighter. You know, like in a great athlete, like in basketball, Dirk Nowitzki. You know when he gets the ball on the post, he's gonna do that one-legged fadeaway, but he scored so many baskets off that damn shot. He's trademarked. He should put a trademark on that damn shot. It's been annihilating people for years in the post with that move. They still can't stop him. So he's proven to be a great basketball player and a great scorer over the years. In baseball, you know when you pitch to Albert Pujols or Miguel Cabrera, you don't throw that you don't throw a fastball on the outer half of the plate. You don't throw a fastball on the outer third of the plate because they're gonna take the damn ball and they're gonna spray it to the opposite field and hit it out the park. But they do that, and you know, they can't be stopped. Manny Pacquiao, in that sense, he's kind of like that in the sense of, you know when you fight him, you know that he's going to be looking to throw the left hand, slip under it, throw it again. You know, he's made a career off of the straight left hand and working off the left hand to turn fighters and give them different angles. And people still can't stop it. Even Floyd Mayweather, the great Floyd Mayweather, who is widely regarded as one of the best defensive boxers of all time, when he, you know, in the aftermath of his fight with Pacquiao, he even said himself, I couldn't see it on the outside of the ring, but when I got done fighting Manny Pacquiao, I see why he got as far as he did in boxing, because of the angles he takes, and I see why he became world champion. He dominated in boxing so long. So when you get a guy like Floyd Mayweather, who is as smart as they come, who's as ring savvy as they come, talking about Manny Pacquiao and the angles he takes, you better listen up. And I've even before the fight with Porter, I always believed that Manny Pacquiao's style would give Errol Spence a lot of trouble because of the fact that he's so fast. He punches from so many different types of angles. In terms of punching power, his power hasn't left him yet. He can still knock you out. And he can still knock you down at least, as he showed in the Thurman fight. He's shown the ability to hurt fighters late in the rounds, like he did against Thurman. And I humbly believe, man, like if he fought Errol Spence, while Errol Spence is a good, sharp, short, precision puncher, you know, it's just gonna be a lot harder for him to get his shots off against a guy like Manny Pacquiao. He's gonna have to make Manny Pacquiao constantly reset, and with the way he fights, Errol Spence is a fighter where he has to pick his shots and he has to use that lead right hand to frame his punches and use it as a range fighter to kind of keep his opponents off of him. And with Pacquiao knows how to dart in, dart out. He knows how to set up his left hand. And to beat a guy like Pacquiao, Errol Spence would have to cut off the ring. He'd have to win the battle of real estate, and I just don't see it happening with somebody as experienced as Manny Pacquiao, somebody as crafty as Manny Pacquiao. And I always believe these things kind of low-key. Not low-key, but like I've always believed these things. But the Sean Porter fight confirmed any beliefs I had, you know, about Manny Pacquiao versus Errol Spence. And this is not confirmation bias. You know, I watched the fight, and I know what I'm watching, and I saw Sean Porter. The rounds that Sean Porter won, and most of which he won clearly. When the rounds he was winning clearly, and he was thoroughly beating the crap out of Errol Spence. The rounds he won, the 4 or 5 rounds he won. He had a lot of that success by turning him, by having superior footwork, by giving him all kinds of angles. And look, we know Sean Porter is a good fighter. We know that Sean Porter has been a world champion. We know that he's, if he's not an elite welterweight, he's as close as you can get to an elite welterweight without being an elite welterweight. He's a damn good fighter, Sean Porter. But let's not get him mistaken with Manny Pacquiao. He does not have the footwork of Manny Pacquiao. He does not have the punching power of Manny Pacquiao. And in some ways, I would even argue that he doesn't even have the work rate of Manny Pacquiao, because when Sean Porter gets on the inside and he starts doing all those roughhouse tactics, he smothers a lot of his punches. As for Pacquiao, when he throws a 4 or 5 punch combination, it's going to be crisp, it's going to be precise, and it's going to hurt you, and it's going to get your attention. So I saw in this fight with Porter in some ways a bootleg Manny Pacquiao style give Errol Spence problems. So if the bootleg gave Errol Spence problem, what do you think is going to happen when the real thing gives him problems? You see what I'm saying? So I've always said too, something I know I've said once or twice on a live, is that I think that Errol Spence versus Manny Pacquiao has a chance and the potential to kind of be like Pacquiao versus Margarito too. Remember when Pacquiao fought Margarito, he was a tall, big guy for the weight class. He moved up to like 154, but I believe they fought at like catch weight at 152. And beat the daylights out of him. And a big problem for Margarito was, even though he was a big guy and he was a dangerous fighter, and he could probably get Manny Pacquiao out of there with a couple punches, Manny Pacquiao's quickness, his angles, his ability to turn Margarito and punch off the angles, it gave him way too many problems. And I see Pacquiao versus Spence, if it ever happens, which I don't think it will next. I think if it does, it'll happen in the latter part of 2021. But if it does happen and Pacquiao has anything left in the tank when he does fight Errol Spence, I honestly think it'll be a repeat of that fight. So that's my humble opinion on why Manny Pacquiao would beat Errol Spence and why Errol Spence's style is tailor-made for Manny Pacquiao. But you guys let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you guys got to say. I made a post about this earlier, and some of you guys agree with me, some of you didn't agree with me. It's all good. But go check that out and leave a comment there if you haven't already. And yeah, man, leave your comments down below. Take the time to subscribe. Like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.